The program will begin in 20 minutes. The program will begin in 10 minutes. Please take your seats and silence your mobile devices. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, the program will begin in 5 minutes. Please take your seats at this time and silence all mobile devices. Thank you. Thank you for joining us for the State of Texas State 2026. We hope you enjoyed the performance by the string trio from the School of Music. Now, please welcome VocaLibre.
Lovers, keep on loving.
Believers, keep on believing.
Sleepers, just stop sleeping.
I chose Texas State because whenever I first visited here, I felt welcomed, like I belonged.
I chose Texas State because it's known as one of the most reputable schools in the nation for what I wanted to study and for what I'm passionate about.
I chose Texas State because I really want to jump in the river after I graduate.
I chose Texas State because I had a feeling I would be successful here, that I would be proud of the person I was becoming, proud of what I had accomplished while I was here.
This is the sound of one voice, one spirit, one voice, the sound of one who makes a choice. This is the sound of one voice. This is the sound of one voice.
At Texas State, I've been challenged and supported. I've been able to come to know myself better, and I've been able to connect with so many others. I know I'm a better person for the time I've spent here.
This is the sound of voices too, the sound of me singing with you, helping each other to make it through. This is the sound of voices too. This is the sound of voices too. This is the sound of voices three, singing together in harmony, surrendering to the mystery. This is the sound of voices three. This is the sound of voices three. At Texas State, we know that each of us matters. Each of us has a voice. We know that all 42,000 of us and all of you, through connection, kindness, hard work, respect, love, and understanding, we can all have a lot to say about the future of Texas State and beyond. This is the sound of all of us, singing with love and the will to trust. Leave the rest behind and we'll turn to dust. This is the sound of all of us. This is the sound of all of us. This is the sound of one voice, one people, one voice, a song for every one of us. This is the sound of one voice. This is the sound of one voice. This is the sound of one voice.
Each late night, every early morning, every drop of water, each bit of land, each scuffed boot and squeaky board and calloused hand. Every detail, each look, each blade of grass, every line of paint, every racing bobcat,
every screaming fan,
each step, up every step, each strut, and every leap, each and every. Every big picture, each small moment, each hill and every rock, each and every day, in each and every way. Each and every one of us brings everything we are, and we give everything we have for each and everyone.
Welcome, Texas State University President Kelly Damphousse.
Thank you. I have a little bit of a technical problem here. Hopefully I can get that fixed. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for coming to the 2026 State of Texas State University Address. How about we give VocaLibre, I think they're probably still in the back of the room, one more round of applause. Thank you for that. You know, we started off with a graduate trio, string trio, and then we have VocaLibre, and they finished their presentation with what is the unofficial anthem of Texas State University, One Voice. Now we have me, so it kind of like settles down for a little while. Then we're going to have a mariachi performance, a soloist coming up, and a student panel as well. And we're also going to have a final performance by a musical theater performance at the very end. So we start off great, little trough here, kind of get everyone settled, then we start and we end strong as well. So we're excited about being here. You may recall that it's been about 18 months since we've actually gotten together, because this used to be the fall faculty meeting that happened the week before school started, and staff were invited to come to that event. We held it inside the basketball arena. It's a big, big space to have a few thousand people, and it felt a little bit sterile sometimes because it was so big and so cavernous. Even if you had 2,000 or 3,000 people there, it just didn't feel like the right space for what we wanted to do. And we also wanted to shift it from being a fall faculty meeting to being more of a State of Texas State address. And then so we were looking for a different venue, and then someone said on my cabinet, why don't we do it in the spring instead of in the fall? And that became our hiatus for last fall, moving into the spring. And I'm excited about this new timeline because it gives us a chance to talk about the things we accomplished all of last year. And there are a lot of things that have happened. Things that have happened for the past 4 or 5 years we'll be talking about as well, but then also talking about what's going to be happening in the spring and the coming years as we talk about our master plan, our strategic plan as well. So thank you all for being here. We're really excited about the opportunity to share with you about what's happening at Texas State, and it is my honor to report to you that because of your hard work, faculty, staff, and our friends and our alumni, and thank you, many of our alumni are here today, because of your hard work, the state of Texas State University has never been stronger. The anthem video that we just watched is part of a comprehensive new brand campaign developed by our Division of Marketing and Communications to help us tell our story across Texas and beyond. With Texas State poised to enter the Pac-12 Conference this coming July, and as we enter the path to R1 status, which will happen, be announced in 28, but we'll have achieved R1 status by the end of 2027. We've experienced record enrollment as well. Graduation rates are all-time high as well. When much of higher education is struggling, ours is a story worth telling because great things are happening here. It's a story of a thriving, access-oriented public research university committed to the ideals of opportunity, excellence, and service at a time when the world needs us the most. Most importantly, this is a story not just in words, but in action. It's how we work, how we meet challenges, how we serve the world and each other every day while we're here. That spirit has defined Texas State for more than 126 years, and it will define us for the next 126 years as well. You know, in 1920, Southwest Texas State Normal College chose the Bobcat as its mascot. And Coach Oscar Strand said famously about the Bobcat is that a Bobcat will fight you with everything that he has, with 4 claws, with teeth, with speed, and with brains, and rarely has a mascot so closely reflected the spirit of its people, because that's how we are. We are Bobcats, and we are resilient, and we will fight you with everything we have. But it doesn't fully capture everything about Texas State, how we enlighten, how we guide, and how we inspire people. For that, our brand is made visible through another symbol, the symbol of the star. The star is a symbol of our state, and it's also a symbol of Texas State University. Radiant, constant, and guiding. For centuries, people have stood on these very hills and found inspiration and direction, not in a single star, but in a constellation of stars. And at the core of Texas State is the belief that standing out comes from standing together. Burning bright as one, creating a beacon visible across Texas and beyond. That beacon resonates with so many who want to be part of it, reflected in the record number of applications here at Texas State. Students and graduates who see every year, people want to come to Texas State. And you heard some testimony earlier today about why students came to Texas State. But this growth is not just for growth for its own sake. Opening doors to education is our mission, and it is a responsibility our state has entrusted to us as part of its vision for a talent-strong Texas. My goal today is to offer a high-level view of what we have built, what you have built, and why it matters. I also want to take some time to paint a picture of our growing impact, not just in San Marcos, not just in Round Rock, but across the state of Texas, across this country, and around the world as well. So throughout today's presentation, I'll highlight just a few of the stars in our constellation. People like those of you in this very room, those who are joining us on live stream as well, who show up every day ready to give their all in service to our students and to our mission, the great things that are happening here at Texas State. Now you can scan this QR code here to learn more about the employee stories that we'll be sharing here, and also some additional employee stories that we weren't able to fit into the presentation. You'll also be able to access the presentation itself as well. So you may feel compelled to take pictures of it. Certainly you're welcome to do that, but you'll actually be able to download the presentation. Actually, you can do that immediately. You should be able to access that right away. Now, you've seen this slide before, but it's worth pausing to reflect on the vision that we all created back 3 years ago when we created our Hopes and Aspirations High strategic plan. We created these 5 pillars, the 5 things that we thought should drive us as we plan the next 4, 5, 6, 10 years of our future here at Texas State. These pillars remain our compass, shaping our decisions and guiding the progress that we continue to make together. We're not slavishly connected to it, but we think about these pillars every time we make a decision here at Texas State. These things like elevating student success, the run to R1, increasing enrollment, growing the Round Rock campus, and becoming an employer of choice, those are things that we think are valuable and important, and things that should drive all of our decisions. Now let's talk about some of the things we've been working on that align with this strategic plan. First, we'll talk about growth with a purpose. Our growth has been nothing short of remarkable across enrollment, student engagement and support, academic excellence, athletic excellence, innovation, national visibility, and our physical campuses as well. Our growth has been tremendous. And today I want to focus not just on how much we've grown, but also why we are growing and how we're ensuring that growth remains intentional, balanced, and grounded in our mission. Sometimes I know you may be worrying about us growing too fast. Well, it's almost like a runaway train, and it's hard to stop the growth that's happening here. So many people want to come to Texas State, not just to study, but also to work. We have to manage that growth, though. We have to be intentional about what we're doing so we continue to provide the kinds of services that students have received for more than 126 years. Now let's talk about our regional growth. Our campuses sit at the center of one of the most rapidly growing regions in the country. Hays County, where we are right now, is currently the fastest growing county in the United States. And Williamson County ranks among the top 10 as far as rate of growth in population. Now this number may surprise you. More than 1,300 people move to Texas every year. Every day, every year. See, I told you it would surprise you. Only 1,300 people moved here a year. That'd be traffic would get better really quickly. 1,300 people move here every single day, and 64% of Texans live between Dallas, Austin, Houston, and San Antonio, and we're right in the middle of that growth and that size. And with that growth comes tremendous opportunity, but it also brings a profound responsibility as well. A responsibility to serve the higher education needs of this region and to prepare a workforce-ready, well-rounded graduates who will contribute as citizens and leaders across Texas. Our state is growing, and there's demand for more higher education for these students. Just as we were founded back in 1899 to serve the young people who are moving into Texas, we have that same responsibility now. So this responsibility aligns directly with the state's ambitious goal that by 2030, 60% of Texans between the ages of 25 and 64 will hold a degree, a certificate, or some other credential of value. Today, unfortunately, Texas ranks 36th nationally in post-secondary attainment. Texas wants to do better because Texas knows it must do better. So Texas State serves a noble mission here, a noble purpose, to help Texas meet the goals of training and educating the young people that come into our sphere of influence. As an access-oriented public research university where more than 90% of our students come from the state of Texas, where about 90% of them will stay in Texas when they graduate, Texas State is essential for the state's plans, and Texas State's growth has to match the growth that is happening in Texas as well. We can't teach everyone that's coming here, but we have to grow so we can meet the growing needs of Texas. How are we going to do that? They can't all come to San Marcos. And I know some of you who live here are saying, thank goodness. So we will reach them where they are. The first thing we're doing is growing our online programming. Online education is a key strategy in our efforts to expand access. There are people who are time and place bound that can't leave where they are because they've got a job and they've got a family, but they want to get an undergraduate degree. They want to finish that degree they started a few years ago. They want to get a master's degree, or increasingly they want to get a doctoral degree as well. And they can't come to San Marcos, they can't come to Round Rock. They can only do that from where they are, and the online environment provides them that opportunity. And you might say, well, online education, maybe it's not that good. Well, I will say that these people will seek online education because that's where the market is right now, and I would prefer us to be doing it than to abdicate that to somebody else. So I'm really grateful for the large number of faculty members who invested time and energy in creating a large number of online programs to feed and to serve the students across the state of Texas and increasingly around the country through the online environment. Over the past 2 years, we've launched nearly 60 online programs in high-demand workforce areas, with 14 more programs starting this coming fall. And this takes a lot of work. You have to create the curriculum, the degree plan, and faculty members have to find someone, or department chairs have to find instructors have to teach. There's a lot of work going on here. This doesn't just happen by magic, but we will have by next fall around almost 75 degree programs available online for our students, undergraduate degrees, master's degrees, and doctoral degrees as well. These programs are expanding access for working adults and place-bound students and it's also generating revenue that we will be reinvesting back into this campus and our campus in Round Rock as well. This is revenue that will be used to enhance student success and the salaries of our faculty and staff, supporting our programs, supporting our faculty and our staff as well, and other things that we're doing. So the revenue that's generated from online programming will benefit all of us, even though only some of us are engaged in that effort. Our growth in online degree production strengthens the entire institution, and I'm excited to see how much more growth we'll have there. As you can see, by fall of 2025, we had almost 4,000 students earning degrees online from Texas State. Let's talk about Round Rock for a second. The same philosophy guiding our growth online is also happening on the Round Rock campus. I think I saw our Vice President for Round Rock is here, Julie Lessiter. Where are you? Julie's right over there. Thank you, Julie, for all your hard work there. Let's give her a round of applause. It's not just Julie. She would be the first person to tell you that faculty and staff over in the Round Rock campus are working really hard to make that a great place for students. Last year, for the first time, we actually had freshmen taking classes on the Round Rock campus, and we're just going to see exponential growth there in no time. During the fall 2025 semester, 2,900 students were served through Round Rock, a 26% increase in just 1 year, and more than half of those students are completing all of their coursework through Round Rock-based programs, whether in person, online, or a combination of the two. And the demand continues to grow. People want to be in Round Rock. The enrollment at Round Rock this spring is more than 3,400 students now. That's nearly a 50% increase from this time last year. So people are discovering what's great about that. One of the things that's great about Round Rock is parking. There's plenty of parking. It's funny, I used to go up there, and one of the people who kind of runs the campus, she would put a pylon on a spot there for me to park in, and I would just park right next to it because there was always lots of empty parking spots. But every once in a while, Julie will send me a picture of the parking lot. I said, "There's no parking here." I said, "Now you're becoming a real campus. You'll get used to all the complaints that are coming your way." So, but it's not just how many we know will be there from our current students. We also have a lot of people applying to go to the Round Rock campus, specifically saying, "I want to go to Round Rock to study." About 2,700 people have already applied for fall 2026 for the Round Rock campus. That's up 60% from where we were this time last year. Our Round Rock campus is a strategic engine for access, workforce alignment, and institutional growth. As the university rises to meet the challenge of enrollment growth, it can't just happen here. It has to happen online. It has to happen in Round Rock as well. Now, momentum doesn't just happen without people driving it. People like Caterina Becerra play a huge role. Colleagues often describe Caterino as the glue of the Round Rock campus, someone who jumps in wherever needed to make things work. But what drives him is a simple concept. How can I make the experiences of our students better? That commitment to service, to students, to the mission, that's what powers this campus and that campus as well. Thank you, Caterino. Caterino, are you here? I thought I might be here. He's working right now, so serving our students. Caterino, thank you. Well, we have these little vignettes kind of built in, and some of the people will be here that you'll be able to recognize him in person. But he represents so much of what our faculty and staff are doing in Round Rock. Thank you, Caterino. Thank you to all of our Round Rock staff and faculty members who live this mission every day. Let's give them a round of applause. So we talked about online, and we talked about Round Rock, but let's talk about a new initiative that I'm really excited about as well. You know, many students in Texas, they're a little uncertain, especially first-generation students. They may not have money to go to a four-year school right out of high school, and they may decide, like me, to go to a community college for a while and try to get their feet wet for a while and try to figure things out. Maybe it's inexpensive. Some community colleges offer 2 years of a college degree for free. And so you can get a 2-year associate's degree for almost no cost, being able to live at home, live in the place where you kind of grew up and be very comfortable there. Class sizes are smaller and so on. But at some point, for those students who want to go on and get a 4-year college degree, they've got to then pack everything up and they've got to move somewhere. They've got to move to Round Rock if they want to come here, or move to San Marcos, or maybe they'll go to Arlington, UT Arlington, or Denton, or whatever. They've got to go somewhere. They can't continue their studies where they are. Well, we decided to shift this story a little bit for students like that. And we said, if you're getting a degree at Collin College or in Dallas College, increasing the number of colleges here that we're partnering with, you get your 2-year associate's degree at your location. We will come to you and offer years 3 and 4 on your campus, on your current campus. You can get your 4-year state degree without ever leaving home. Being able to live at home with your parents, keep your part-time job that you've had since high school, be very comfortable. You know where all the coffee shops are located and so on. The idea here is we're creating these 2+2 partnerships with community colleges and junior colleges across the state of Texas that will allow people to affordably get a 4-year college degree and to be able to manage the life course of a college degree, not having to move away and struggle and so on, and to minimize the costs as much as possible. You can get a 4-year college degree through a process like this from Texas State University for under $20,000. That's remarkable if you think about having the first 2 years being free, living at home for the whole 4 years, and then getting the last 2 years from us. That doesn't exist anywhere else. So I'm really excited about this program. This program is growing a lot. You can see some of the schools that we are already partnering with. I think we have about 40 or 50 students right now in Dallas College and Collin College. And we have over 300 students, I believe, enrolled in the fall for those colleges as well. We're also partnering with other colleges in other locations as well. I'm excited to see that grow as well. So our growth at Texas State will be in San Marcos, but will also be in Round Rock, will also be online, and will also be in these community colleges across the state of Texas. At the heart of this work is a simple but powerful belief that every student deserves a clear, affordable pathway to a Texas State degree. And I'm excited and I'm proud of the work that the faculty and staff have done to make this possible for our students. But we're not just growing in Texas and not just across the United States, we're also growing globally as well. Our partnership agreements stretch beyond Texas. This fall, for example, we marked a significant milestone with the opening of our new campus in Mexico, in Querétaro, Mexico. We welcomed 57 students there this past fall. They are, by the way, they actually have a women's soccer team, and they call themselves the Texas State University Querétaro Bobcats. And this past summer, our soccer team, women's soccer team from San Marcos went down there and played them in a friendly, they call them, friendly match. I'll let you know the Bobcats won. But it was, what was interesting was watching it on TV, because they had a couple of students there broadcast the game, and they're very enthusiastic student soccer broadcasters. If you ever watch a soccer match, you know how enthusiastic they would get. But they were a little confused because both teams were the Texas State University Bobcats, and they kept saying, and the Bobcats had the ball. A great save by the Bobcats. Well, the Bobcats are doing very well on defense and on offense and so on. But we're excited about the opportunity to see the growth that's happening in Querétaro. One of the things that's unique about that place is that there are 1,200 multinational corporations in the city of Querétaro, and we think our international business programs can really benefit. Our engineering programs, for example, will also benefit by having those kinds of relationships. So we're also expanding strategic partnerships that create more affordable, high-impact opportunities for our students and their faculty members to do study abroad opportunities across not just across the world, but also across the country as well. At the same time, we're advancing discussions to extend Texas State's international presence to England, Ireland, India, Japan, and several other countries as well. In those locations, it may be that we're doing a study abroad hub where students can go there, go to a great place to live for the summer, take a class either from that university or from one of our faculty members leading a study abroad. Or it may be that a student there will take 2 years studying from the Indian University, for example, and then do 2 years with us here in San Marcos, or maybe Round Rock, depending on where the degree is located. And so in the end, the students will get a 4-year college degree from America and also from India as well in the space of that 4 years. And so the Texas State brand is very valuable worldwide, and we're excited about bringing more and more of those students here. We have over 2,000 international students here already. We anticipate we'll have more and more of those over the years. Let's talk about growth in enrollment overall. Thanks to the exceptional efforts of teams across the university to get these programs launched, we have diversified our enrollment portfolio. We're no longer just depending on people coming to San Marcos. We are driving growth across every category, achieving record enrollment in fall 2025, reaching almost 45,000 students this past fall. Our freshman enrollment, graduate enrollment, online enrollment, international enrollment, all of those are records. And we're setting even more records this spring, and I'll talk about that in a second. But as you can see, we're experiencing an upward trajectory in all these 4 major areas, and we'll continue to see those grow. By the way, that graduate number is remarkable. Just this morning, I saw that last year at this time, we had 6 new doctoral students enroll at Texas State in spring of 2025. I believe this morning, where are we now? Is it 80? 80 new doctoral students starting this fall. That's because of the new doctoral program we've added. Our 10th one was just approved yesterday. So we've not just invested in our old, our original doctoral programs. We also added a lot of doctoral programs as well. The growth in graduate program, I think we were up 35% over last year in graduate enrollment. So again, we're seeing huge change in the composition of our students here at Texas State. Now, growth is great, but we also have to be very practical and intentional about how we do that growth. We don't want to overwhelm the city of San Marcos, and we recognize that growth can happen at Texas State without it all happening right here. And this slide, I think, shows that pretty clearly. The gold bars are enrollment at Texas State, and you may know that in fall of 2016, we actually peaked. Our enrollment had peaked in fall of 2016 and had gone down over the years. In 2020, it really kind of dropped down. And we start to build up a little bit. But you see the growth in San Marcos is not 10 and 12 and 15% and 30% every year. It's actually relatively flat. And we are just now over what we were back in 2016 here in San Marcos. So we're kind of the same as we've been before. Most of our growth has been through online and through these other programs that we've been talking about. So we're excited about that. We are going to be deliberately growing at a deliberate pace for growth here in San Marcos. That's because we focused our growth where we think we can scale the easiest, online, Round Rock, and these partnerships, allowing San Marcos to grow in a way I've termed this responsibly. We don't want to overwhelm our city and our water usage for sure. Now, let's talk about the spring. Pretty exciting stuff. Now, these numbers are not official, which is why I'm not going to give you any numbers. Because we don't have the census data yet, but I will tell you, I have a sheet that I've been given every day for the past week that says here's all the records we've set in all these categories of enrollment across Texas State, and it is unbelievable what's happening here. Ahead of the spring census day, I can tell you that we anticipate another record-setting enrollment, up 11%, almost 42,000 students. We've never had 40,000 students at Texas State in the spring semester. The spring semester always dips at every university. We were at almost 45,000 this year. We're actually, I think that this number may be a little old. I think we're at 42,000 or 41,730 or something like that. We're about 250 away from being 42,000 students this spring, which is really remarkable. Again, remember they're everywhere. That's 11% growth in overall enrollment, but a 32% growth in graduate student enrollment. Most of that in master's students, but increasingly in doctoral students as well. In fact, there's a slide that we're going to put up here that shows just some of the categories that are setting records this spring semester. Overall head count, total undergraduate population, total graduate population, total international, total doctoral, total new students, new masters. Semester credit hours, also very important. Where's our CFO, Eric Algo? Student credit hours, very important to him. We can't have raises unless we have enough student credit hours being taken by our students. Round Rock campus setting records, new doctoral and total masters. You see, these are just some of the records we've set this spring. Again, not all of it happening here in San Marcos, obviously. So, spring's great, fall was great. What about next fall? Next fall, to be honest, I'm a little nervous. Now, normally when a president is talking about the fall enrollment and he or she says, I'm a little nervous about fall or spring, they're talking about, I don't know if we'll have enough students to fill the dorm. We may have to lay off some faculty and whatever. The exact opposite is happening here. That's the story that's happening around the country, but at Texas State, our problem is going to be how are we going to handle all the students that want to come here? If students want to come to Texas State, our fall freshman applications continue to outpace national demographic trends. While projections show that only about high school seniors who are graduating from Texas this coming year will increase about 1%. It's actually less than like 0.9%. Our applications are through the roof though. We have 57,000 high school seniors have applied to come to Texas State this year. We're the third most applied to school in Texas overall. A&M and Texas are 1 and 2. within the state of Texas, among high school seniors using Apply Texas, we're the most applied to school in the state of Texas. They have a lot of out-of-state students who are applying there, which really drives their numbers up. 57,000 freshman applications. That's 16,000 more than we had this time last year. So that change is remarkable. And we're already ahead of where we ended last year. I think last year we ended with like 53,000, and we're at 56,000 now. So I'm nervous. Everyone's nervous. Cynthia Hernandez is not here, our Vice President for Student Success, but she's the most nervous because she has to house all these students. We're hoping a lot of them will actually start off, if we have a lot of freshmen, some of them will start off in Round Rock, some of them may be online if that's their preference as well. But we are actually going to be very carefully monitoring enrollment throughout the summer. The good news is that when you have so many people applying, you can actually you can see an increase in the quality of student that you start admitting. So that the category of applications that's increased the most is top 10% and top 25% of high school seniors who want to come here. And so the reputation of the party school, I think, is kind of leaving Texas State's reputation, and people are seeing this as a legitimate research university where they want to come and where they think they need a degree that will prepare them for life after Texas State. This demand reflects the strength of our academic programs, our growing reputation, and the value that students see in a Texas State education. Let me share another star story. Caroline Hope. She plays an integral role in our enrollment efforts. Caroline is a Bobcat alum who chose to return to Texas State to help recruit future Bobcats across the Austin region. Caroline says that helping freshmen and transfer students navigate Texas State, create success plans, and accomplish their goals brings meaning to her work. She knows why she's doing what she's doing. Her story reflects what our staff and our faculty do every day. You open doors, you build pathways, and you change lives. Thank you, Caroline. Is Caroline here? There's Caroline. All right, there you are. Thank you, Caroline. Thank you for helping open doors to so many future Bobcats. Now let's talk about academic expansion and excellence as well. Enrollment growth alone is not enough. It must be grounded in strong, relevant academic programs. The state expects that of us. They expect us to be offering degrees that matter, that prepare students for life after they leave here. Thanks to the leadership of our faculty and the Provost's office, Texas State has experienced historic academic expansion, adding new degree programs that strengthen workforce readiness, research capacity, and educational quality. Just yesterday, the Higher Education Coordinating Board approved our 10th new doctoral program, kinesiology, marking another important milestone to our path forward. Now, faculty across disciplines are leading this work, supported by the Center for Teaching, Learning, and Scholarship, and developing discipline-specific approaches that strengthen, not replace, good pedagogy. We are also embracing the integration of AI across our academic experience enthusiastically, but with care and intention. We can't hide our head in the sand and hope that AI goes away. It's not a fad. Perhaps how you use it is a fad, making little motion videos out of your pictures and so on, and putting weird hats on people and turning yourself into a bobcat or something. That might be a fad, but AI is here to stay. Our students, our faculty, and our staff need to learn how to use AI, how to improve what we do at the university and make our students AI competent. So then we leave here, when talking to employers, they can tell them, I understand what AI means. Interestingly, we've more than tripled the number of courses at Texas State that integrate AI into their curriculum. That's hard work that our faculty are doing. No one's making our faculty do this. They're doing it because they understand the importance of it, and it really is important. These efforts are delivering real results. More than 1,200 students have earned an AI Foundations credential, while investment in AI research has grown to $48 million here at Texas State. Just as importantly, this work reflects strong collaboration across the university, faculty, staff, IT, all these areas working together to ensure that AI is used responsibly, sustainably, and in ways that improve the lives of our students and also what's happening here on our campus. And you can see this partnership in action during the AI Teaching and Learning Symposium that will be held here on March 4th and 5th on our San Marcos campus, hosted by Academic Affairs and IT. We'll have people from around the country coming here to learn about how to integrate AI into the classroom. This event now draws more than 350 participants from across the region, proof that we are helping shape the best practices for higher education in our state. Now, having a large freshman class, having high enrollment, having a lot of employees and so on, those are all great things, but ultimately what's important for us is that our students are successful while they're here. What does success mean? Success looks like retention after the first year. Do they come back for their sophomore year? And then ultimately graduation rates as well. And we are investing a lot of resources into increasing the retention rate of our freshmen because we know that that first year is so vital. If we can get them back for their sophomore year, the likelihood of them graduating 4 or 5 or 6, I was on the 7-year plan, so it took me a while, but that first year is so vital. The experience they have in the residence halls, the experience they have in the cafeterias, the experience they have between classes, when they find a sense of belonging, that makes a huge difference for them. And so we're spending a lot of time supporting our students. In fact, we changed the name of our Division of Student Affairs to the Division of Student Success with a specific focus on what can we do to help our students be successful. We live in a very busy world, and it's very complicated what we do. And we want to make sure our students, many of whom, almost half of our students are first generation, about 1 out of 3 is Pell eligible, so that means they come from fairly tough financial backgrounds. We want to make sure that they have every opportunity to be successful while they're here. And I know many of you care about things like this, about how we're helping our students be successful. You care deeply about course availability and how we support our students' progress, and we're addressing all these things directly. We're using data, for example, to better understand student demand and to build schedules that don't just offer more classes, but offer the right classes in the right sequence at the right time. At the same time, we reorganized advising on our campus with a clear goal to focus our advisors' time and expertise where it's needed most. Some students don't need any help at all. They've got it figured out. They might need someone to sign a form. They might need someone to look things over. But they've got it figured out. But some students need a lot of help. And so we've changed advising so we can put our work and our effort into the people who need it the most. And our advisors are among the most student-centered professionals you will find anywhere in the country. I want to thank them for embracing these changes, for making this work successful. Now, I know many of you, especially among the faculty, are thinking about curriculum review. The first step in this process is already complete. In phase 1, we reviewed all general education courses and special topics courses. By the time the next catalog is published, every single course we offer will have been reviewed. This might seem like a new thing that we're doing, but actually we've been doing this for 130 years. People proposed courses, they had a course description, and over time, the things evolve, different people teach the classes. Periodically, it's useful to go back and make sure that the course description aligns with what's actually being taught in the classroom. So we're going through this process now. Curriculum review has become part of the national conversation, sometimes in a way that's cast fairly negatively, but I think it's useful work that's being done here. And I want to give credit to our faculty who spent a lot of time this past fall looking over our high critical need areas and the work that they'll do in the coming year to get next year's catalog all squared away. It's a normal, required part of how universities address academic quality. This work ensures that alignment between course description and syllabus is there, it ensures rigor, and ensures clarity for our students. And I want to thank the faculty for their hard work in making this happen. Faculty members like Dr. Anthony Torres in our Department of Engineering Technology, he reminds us what Texas State is all about. Recently honored with a Graduate College Outstanding Mentor Award, Dr. Torres will tell you that while research, teaching, and service matter, mentoring students is the most meaningful part of his work. In his 12 years at Texas State, Dr. Torres has helped shape the lives of countless students long after class ends or a degree is earned. His work reflects the very best of what our faculty do. Thank you, Dr. Torres. I don't think he's here. I think he wrote me an email, said I couldn't be here. He's out of town, but he sent his best wishes. Thank you, Dr. Torres, and thank you to all of our faculty for the best of time. All of this growth, all of this work, all the things we're doing in online, regional, academic, institutional growth matters for one reason, because our students put their trust, they put their trust in us of their future. Their future is in our hands. Whether you teach in the classroom, support students one-on-one, maintain our spaces, design the tools and technology they rely on, or work behind the scenes, your work matters. It is helping us change the lives of the young people who come here. And increasingly not young people who come here to get a degree. They are getting older too. It's a sacred responsibility that every day you prove that we are worthy of the trust that they are placing in us. One of the ways that we're earning that trust is by using data and collaboration to better support our students. Through Navigate TXST, nearly 31,000 students connected with advising and support services last year, completing more than 83,000 appointments. That's unbelievable to think about. 83,000 appointments across 12 service areas. And those appointments are making a difference. The students who reach out for help, who seek the help, who receive the help, are persisting and retaining at much higher rates than those who don't. 14 percentage points higher than those who didn't seek or receive the help. We want our students to know that if they need help, they need only to ask for help, and we're there to help them through it. So thank you to our Division of Student Success for driving this effort to ensure that our students have the right information at the right time and make sure fewer of them fall through the cracks. Now, I want to take a moment to recognize the leadership of our faculty related to retention as well. Sometimes people think that retention is the job of the Division of Student Success, that this is a staff job. But the fact is, the faculty play an important role here. We know that academic success is a key indicator of how well students will do on our campus, whether or not they'll drop out or they'll continue and then graduate in a timely manner. This year we set a new record. It's all about setting records, I guess, this year. It's interesting. We always had midterm reports that were due as faculty members. I remember turning in midterm reports all the time when I was a young faculty member. But I never understood why those were important. I thought the students should know what they're getting, and the students should tell their parents, and so everyone should know what's going on. But those early grade reports don't just go to students, they also go to our professionals, our student success professionals across the campus. And this past year, 96%, I'm not going to pick on the 4% who didn't, 96% of our faculty who were teaching core curriculum classes participating in turning in an early progress report. That's a record. I would never hit that kind of cooperation with our faculty before. Because of that, we were able to reach out this past fall to 4,000 students that were struggling early on. And we reached out and said, hey, notice that you're not doing well in this class. Do you need some help with this? Do you need tutoring? Is there something going on? Looks like you're doing poorly in all your classes right now. Is there something else we can help you with? We reached out to over 4,000 struggling students early in the semester. We connected them with resources like tutoring when support can make the greatest difference. If we wait till the semester's over, it's too late. That early grade reporting makes a big difference. What's especially important is this. We admitted 12% more freshmen this year than we did the year before, but the number of students on academic warning stayed flat. That means we're admitting more students. You would expect the number of students going on warning to go up. It actually stayed flat. To me, that's a huge success. More students coming in, the number of students needing help staying flat means that we're doing something. And that's because our students are helping, our faculty and our staff are collaborating together to help our students when they need the help the most. So thank you to our faculty and staff for making this a priority. Now, we're also listening carefully to our students and acting on what they tell us. More than 8,500 freshmen shared with us what helps them succeed, and their feedback is shaping how we address affordability, housing stability, learning accommodations, food security, and connection. Because when we know, we can act. I don't know how many times I've told a student, if I don't know what's broken, I can't fix it. If you don't tell me how I can serve you better, how will I know how to serve you better? This past year, for example, $258,000 in continuation and completion grants helped 180 students who are going to drop out of school because they didn't have enough money to attend. I talk about academics, but finances also plays a big role here. A student somehow would get in touch with us and say, I'm going to have to drop out because I can't afford to pay my tuition. I've run out of money. My parents lost their job. We were able to come forward with some small mini grants at the moment to help them pay their bills, maybe to buy some groceries to help them stay in school. We also expanded disability services to meet the growing demand of students who come here with disabilities. We opened up new residential halls, broadened services and saw engagement rise across the campus as well. Students are also connecting to each other, to life, and they're creating a real sense of belonging that helps them also feel like this is a place for them. There are really three things that predict retention and ultimately graduation: finances, academic, and fit. If they feel like they belong, it makes a big difference, and our students are starting to feel that way as well. And we're seeing the numbers play out. So participation in events like Jumpstart, Homecoming, attending athletics events, and service-related projects reached record levels this past year. And the latest housing demand survey that I saw, the numbers just last week, confirms what we're hearing from our students as well. Satisfaction with on-campus housing is up 8 percentage points from last year, with 90% of our students now telling us that they are satisfied or very satisfied with their housing experience as a freshman. That's remarkable. Part of it is we've got some really nice dorms now that people are living in, but it's also because we've changed what's happening in residence halls, and people feel really connected there in a way they didn't before. Now, Marissa Trussell is one of many stars in our division of student success, and she's making a real difference in the lives of our students. As a case manager with the care team, she works closely with students as they navigate the realities of college life. And as a parent completing her own master's degree at Texas State, she's especially proud of her work supporting pregnant and parenting students. And by the way, if you didn't see it, I'm not sure who was on the mailing list. We sent an email to all of our students who are to tell them about the services we provide for pregnant students and for parenting students just yesterday. We want our students, no matter what situation they're in life, to be successful here. And being pregnant or being a parent is just one more challenge for many of our students. We want to make sure that they know that we're here to help them. People like Marissa are making a difference for our students. Marissa is here. There she is right there. Thanks. You got a great shirt on, Marissa. Thank you. Thank you, Marissa. You all are changing, as I've said before, changing the lives of the students who are coming here to Texas State. We're investing intentionally in advising and engagement, coordinating support, and the results are clear. Our first-year retention numbers from fall 2024 to fall 2025 reached over 80% for the first time this past year. That's up 2 percentage points over the past 3 years. So more and more of our freshmen, even as our freshman class is growing, more of them are returning for their sophomore year. A higher percentage of them for sure. Our goal ultimately is 85%, so we still got a ways to go, but we're doing very well. Our 4-year graduation now has risen to 40%, up from 36% just 2 years ago. And that number will continue to increase as well. We would love that number to be far higher. Our 6-year graduation rate hasn't changed yet because there's a lag in that process. We'll get there eventually as well. And it's that progress that matters, because every percentage point represents students staying on track, feeling supported, and ultimately crossing the finish line and jumping in the river, and then going off and paying taxes, and helping support this university, and not moving back home with their parents. And parents out there know what I'm talking about. And we saw that progress on full display in December, where at commencement, more than 3,100 degree candidates participated across 6 ceremonies, the largest fall commencement in our history. And we will start seeing record commencements from here on out. As our freshman class has risen over the years, we'll start seeing more and more records being set at graduation as well. Even though we measure success in percentages and totals, moments like this remind us what those numbers truly represent: students moving forward, families celebrating, and opportunities realized as well. One more star story here. Kristen McDaniel is a proud Texas State alum, and she supported Bobcats crossing the stage since her own graduation in 2005. Over that time, she has helped lead the production of 268 commencement ceremonies, each one unique and meaningful. I wasn't here during COVID, but I bet those were exciting times for graduation ceremonies. As Kristen says, it's been an honor being part of one of the most momentous days in the lives of our students. Now, let's talk about, let's give Kristen a hand. Kristen is here somewhere. There's Kristen right there. Thank you, Kristen. I'm going to speed through the last little bit here because we could talk about this all day. Let's talk about some of the innovations happening on our campus. While our impact belongs here, and I'm going to talk about student success and academics here, let's talk about our research next. We're at a defining moment at Texas State as we run towards the R1 status, our faculty are engaging in research in a way they never have before. Our research enterprise has grown to more than $183 million in annual expenditures this past year. That's triple what we did over the past decade and double what we did just 3 years ago. Even more telling, our research momentum continues to accelerate. First quarter expenditures this year are up more than 25% compared to last year at this time, and new awards are on the rise as well. When the news was filled with federal government pulling back on supporting research at the university level, our faculty members kept applying for grants and kept getting grants, and we're more successful now than we've ever been. This growth positions Texas State as a catalyst for research-driven solutions and solidifies, nearly guaranteeing the fact that we'll become an R1 institution by the end of 2027. And others are taking notice as well. According to the National Science Foundation's HERD survey, Texas State now ranks in the 84th percentile nationally, placing us among the top tier of research institutions and ahead of several regional peers like UT El Paso, UT Arlington, and University of North Texas as well. And while rankings are worth noting, they matter most as a signal of our growing capacity to attract talent, funding, and impact. The Texas University Fund, or TUF, has been a key driver of that capacity. Now that we qualify for a full share, which is about $1.4 billion of TUF money, that will generate about nearly $70 million a year that we can invest directly into research, which is allowing us now to commit to spending $300 million over the next 5 years to expand our research capacity at Texas State. We couldn't have done that otherwise, but the people of Texas provided us with this resource with the expectation that we would do this. It's remarkable what our plans are. We actually have a new website that's coming up that we actually is available now for people to look at, where people can see what our new goal is to expand our research, these research areas that we have. Last semester, the Division of Research brought together university faculty from around both the campuses, brought them all together and said, what should we focus on as a university? We could try to be the master of all these disciplines, but can we think about 5 areas where we can be the best at? Something we're doing already that we're already pretty good at, but with a little bit of resources we could be great at, where we can go from good to great. And together they came up with these 5 areas of interest that we will be focusing on in the coming years. Water and the environment, and water touches every discipline. Semiconductors, artificial intelligence, digital humanities, and then I always forget the last one. Oh yeah, dementia, and aging. Thank you. Dad joke, I know. Sorry. These efforts will guide the recruitment of senior scholars who will come to Texas State, bring their research grants, bring their doctoral students, bring their research programs to Texas State with strong records of research success. We have been the feeder school for many years, growing our young faculty members who then get picked off by all these other research institutions. We now want to be picking off other places because we think something special is happening here. Just like students want to come to Texas State, we think faculty will want to come here as well with the resources that we'll make available to them. A national campaign touting our research enterprise and attracting research teams in this area just is launching right now in the Chronicle of Higher Education and other platforms. In the coming months, we will be having advertisements, both online, digital, through social media, and also in print as well, touting our new plan to invest in research at a different level at Texas State. There's no doubt that our innovation ecosystem is also gaining powerful momentum as well. This past year, we nearly doubled the number of our licensing revenue, and our faculty are moving ideas to impact at an unprecedented pace. We have generated a 57% increase in invention disclosures and a 140% increase in patent applications year over year. And that growth is happening all across the university. While it's impossible to capture the level of achievement and the notification and notoriety that we're receiving around the country, what our university is receiving, I wanted to highlight a few that might be interesting to you. For example, U.S. News and World Report. We've jumped 16 places in national ranking at U.S. News and World Report. We were named one of America's top colleges in 2026 by Forbes, and one of Princeton Review's best colleges for 2026 as well. We also received the gold designation from the Texas Veterans Commission for the 5th consecutive year. Some other great numbers here. Texas State was also named a top drama school in the world. Unfortunately, we're no longer in the top 25. That's because we now are in the top 22. So thank you all to the theater program here. By the way, just get ready. We got the theater program coming. Think about that. Top 22 in the world. Unbelievable. Students want to come here to get a degree that is distinctive, and we're offering that to them. The St. David's School of Nursing is ranked number 2 in the state by registerednursing.org, and our graphic design program is ranked 46th in the nation and 3rd in the state as well. And we've also won a few national championships recently. Our advertising, marketing, design team won a national championship. Our sales team did the same. And Mariachi, Nueva, Generación also won first place honors when competing against their peers this past year. Now, you know, when our football team started going to bowl games, we get them a ring for going to the bowl game. They never had that before. And so when these students started winning these national championships, I said we should get them a ring as well. So we started giving them rings. I'm about to go broke with all the national awards we're getting. And I'm running out of fingers to put all my rings on. And so it's exciting, though, to see our students competing in excellence, our faculty leading them, our staff members leading them to these great successes. And our success and our impact extends through our alumni as well. Most Texas State graduates build their lives and careers here in Texas, strengthening the state's workforce and communities. At the same time, our national alumni footprint continues to grow, especially in major metropolitan areas around the country, and especially out west, which will be really cool when we join the Pac-12. We'll actually be going closer to our alumni out on the West Coast. Soon, we'll release the results of our latest economic impact study. These findings underscore what we already know, but we couldn't really put a number on it. But the fact is, Texas State contributes billions with a B, billions of dollars annually to the Texas economy, supports tens of thousands of jobs, and delivers strong returns for students, taxpayers, and society. Just think about this one statistic that I saw in the report. For every dollar invested, the returns multiply through lifetime earnings, tax revenue, and social benefit. And I think it says right there, for every dollar invested in Texas State, students gain $6.80 in lifetime earnings. So what a great investment for them to come to Texas State. And if we want to sustain this momentum, we must continue to take care of our own, and I really believe that. That's why investing in our people has been such an important focus for me and the entire leadership team and our cabinet. As enrollment increased by 18% in the past 5 years, faculty size has also grown by 22%. Students up 18%, faculty up 22%, staff up 19%. You may recall the first time I met with the faculty and staff, I mentioned this idea of more with more. We are doing more, but we also have more here as well. Just for example, one number that stood out to me, we have 1,000 more employees today than we did in fall of 2021. That's remarkable growth here, 1,000 new people that weren't here before. And so we're moving forward in our goal. That's not just new people, that's the number of new lines that we've added in faculty and staff, moving forward in our goal to doing more with more. At the same time, we've made meaningful salary investments, particularly for our lowest paid employees. No one at Texas State who's a full-time employee makes less than $30,000 a year, which is great. We also created a faculty instructional series for our instructional faculty and provide a lot of raises for those faculty members as well. These actions are about something more than just the bottom line. They're about respect, fairness, and living our values. We know there's more to do, and we're committed to continuing this work, listening, learning, making meaningful progress towards making this a great place, not just to learn and to live, but also to serve. We know that when we take care of our people, we create a better experience for our students and a stronger Texas State. Becoming an employer of choice is a long and intentional process. It doesn't happen overnight, but we are getting further and further along in our goal to become an employer of choice. We're committed to work and continue to work with our faculty and staff thoughtfully and transparently to balance the realities we face with our responsibility to the people who make this university run every day. In the months ahead, for example, we'll launch a university-wide employee survey to better understand what's working, where we can improve, and what you think we should focus on next. Your voice, I can't fix parking very easily, but maybe some other things as well. Your voices matter, and your input will shape the future of Texas State. Now, your commitment and dedication doesn't just stop on our campuses. It also is reflected in how Texas State is represented in athletics. I can't leave without talking a little bit about this. On the field, in the courts, and in communities, and on the national stage, our athletics program is bringing a lot of positive notoriety to Texas State. Let's take a look at a few things that are going on over the Department of Athletics. Where's our Vice President for Athletics? Don Coriel, our Athletics Director. Thank you so much for all you do. Across every sport, Texas State Athletics continues to build sustained momentum. For 3 of the past 4 years, we've won the Sun Belt Bubas Cup, which is the Commissioner's Cup for having the best overall program. We're actually not allowed to win it this year because we're leaving, and they're kind of grumpy about us leaving. And so, but I still think we're going to be in the running for it. And if we do, I'm just going to go buy one and give it to the team. But for 3 of the past 4 years, we've been the best athletics program in the Sun Belt, which positioned us well when the Pac-12 and other conferences were looking at us as well this past year. It's not just one program, it's across the entire department. At the same time, student athletes are succeeding academically with graduation rates well above NCAA standards or benchmarks. NIL agreements are helping ensure roster stability. Philanthropic support is fueling major facility investments as well. Combined with record attendance and strong television viewership, this reflects a level of excellence we're building at Texas State. Just a couple of examples here. You may know that football just capped a season with a 41-10 victory over Rice in the Armed Forces Bowl. We'd never been to a bowl game before. We went to 3 in a row. We've beaten Rice, North Texas, and Rice again. So 3 in-state rivals. 3rd straight bowl game. This past, it was about a month ago, like January 3rd or so. We played in front of 28,000 fans. It was the biggest crowd that had been there since 2017. And 2.1 million people watched that game on TV. And I really believe football is having an impact on our out-of-state recruitment, people wanting to come to Texas State from outside the state of Texas. At the same time, Texas State soccer captured its first Sun Belt Tournament championship and earned an NCAA tournament berth, marking another milestone for our athletics program. And one of the most exciting developments for our future, in July 2026, Texas State will join the new Pac-12 conference, another symbol of the changes and the improvement that is going on at Texas State. This move expands our national footprint, it strengthens recruiting and elevates our brand on a much larger stage than we've ever had before. But most importantly, it elevates Texas State as an institution, academically, culturally, and nationally with our new peers. This year's launch of the Light the Star Capital campaign reflects a shared commitment to moving Texas State athletics into the next era. Now, I said I've already done the last Star Stories, but I have one more to share. Where's Aiden? I know Aiden is. There's Aiden right there. Let me talk about Aiden Poole for a second. Now, one of the things that, I remember one of our students got pretty badly injured during one of our games, and we thought there was a pretty significant injury. And so I went to the ER after the game was over and hung out with the student. And Aiden was there, never left until made sure that student was able to actually walk out of the hospital that evening. But I get to see Aiden work behind the scenes. You may not even know who she is, but she and her teams provide support and care to all of our student athletes. She's a proud alumnus, and for her, game days are her favorite time of the year because she gets to see all the hard work from the students, the student athletes, and her staff pay off as they take the field and the courts to compete at the highest level. Working in athletics has given her the opportunity to give back to the place that grew her as a student and as a young professional. The impact of Aiden's work on our student athletes can never be measured in yards or feet. It's measured in the lives that she's touched. So thank you, Aiden, for all of your hard work. Okay, let's wrap up by talking about giving. We're going to be passing a hat around in just a moment. Where's Brooks? Brooks right there. He's got the hat. It's a big hat. So the strength of our brand is also reflected in the generosity of the Texas State community. Last year, more than 15,000 gifts, individual gifts were given to Texas State. 3,000 of those were from people who had never given to Texas State before. And that's a really good indicator of the growth and the interest in Texas State. All told, those 15,000 gifts came up to about $31 million in support, with the majority directed towards scholarships, which is my #1 priority. That generosity is changing lives and strengthening the future of the university. Looking forward, we're preparing for a transformational $20 million campaign to create a permanent public home for the Whitliff collections as part of the Spring Lake Welcome Center outlined in the master plan for the university. If you've not looked at the master plan online, you should do it. Some of the pictures there are stunning, but I'm excited about what we're going to do at Spring Lake and the Welcome Center down there. Now, when I say excellence everywhere, I mean excellence everywhere, and we want the world to know it. Over the past year, the university generated tens of billions of global media impressions with more than 18,000 positive media mentions worldwide. Engagement, and a lot of that had to do with the Pac-12 move that happened in the summer. Engagement across our social platforms now exceeds the national average for higher education generally by more than triple. Simply put, Texas State's story is being told and it's being heard on a national and a global stage. Okay, one more star story. I can't help myself. Nicole Hefner. Can't tell our story without storytellers. People like Nicole Hefner have spent the last decade bringing her expertise to our division of marketing and communications. As a copy editor, much of what Nicole does is invisible when it's done well, but its influence is everywhere. It ensures that our story is clear, credible, and worthy of the work happening across our campus. Nicole says that she knows her role in spotlighting Texas State amplifies the good work that you all are doing in our communities, in our campuses, in our classrooms, and beyond. And that's very meaningful to her. What I love about these spotlights is I'm hearing people talk about the meaningful work that they're doing, the why behind what they're doing, not just the what, but the why. People like Nicole are helping to make that spotlight on our university even brighter. Thank you, Nicole, for all you do. Nicole is here as well. Where's Nicole? They stepped out. So, as we look ahead, the question is not whether Texas State will continue to grow, but how we will shape that growth in the future. We are going to grow. We can't help it. Without doing anything, we'll grow. This past year, we launched our master plan with broad input from our community. We had faculty, staff, students, alumni, community members all lean in to help us plan the future composition of our campus. And when that planning began, our most optimistic projection was that we would have around 49,000 students by 2033. We will probably have 50,000 students sometime next spring. So we'll already surpass that. Now again, a lot of that's online and in other locations, but we are growing tremendously. We are just going to grow. We can't help ourselves. It's just going to happen because Texas is growing, we will grow. To keep pace with that, we expanded our master plan and this work is already underway. The plan calls for 30 new buildings on the San Marcos campus, 6 new buildings on the Round Rock campus, ranging from research labs to student housing and to cultural amenities as well. Today, as we speak, we currently have nearly $1 billion in active construction across our campuses. $1 billion. With our new hotel groundbreaking this summer, major projects like Hilltop 2, which is our newest residence hall we're building not far from here, the new STEM building, which is nearing completion in Esperanza Hall, and the Round Rock campus, which is also nearing completion. We got a lot of stuff going on here to deal with the growth. What's my favorite part of the plan? Some people ask me. It's not about the buildings. It's actually about the space around the buildings, the walkways, the green spaces that we're creating in the plan, so that people can find comfort, joy, respite as they walk from class to class around our campuses. It's one of the most beautiful campuses in the world, and I'm excited about it. I mean, look at that. That's an unbelievable view there of what Sewell Park will look like when we're done with it. Speaking of green spaces, our recent purchase of 128 acres in Sink Creek watershed not only grows the size of our San Marcos campus by 25%, it also adds a unique research asset right next door to the university. As the old saying goes, they're not making any more land. And so we got the opportunity to buy this property. We bought it. We're not quite sure exactly what we're going to do there, but we will work with our faculty and our staff to come up with the best solution for how we can use that property. I actually toured it yesterday. There's some pretty rough buildings there, but the property itself is unbelievable. I can't wait for our faculty, our staff, and our students to make use of that new spot. I'm really proud of that investment there. Now, as we look ahead to the next year, to the next decade, to the next 125 years, I want to come back to where we started. The idea that each of you is a star in the constellation. None of us does this work alone. Student success doesn't happen in a single office. Research breakthroughs almost never happen in isolation. Community isn't created by policy, it's created by people. And it's created when advisors stay late, when faculty members rethink how they teach material, when staff members solve problems that no one else even knows exist, when teams quietly make this university run every single day. That's how constellations are formed, not by standing apart, but by each of us working together. Texas State is entering a new chapter, one defined by growth, by national visibility, and by opportunity. But what will always matter most is that we continue to move forward as one, guided by our shared mission and by our shared belief in what our university does. We are changing the lives of the people who come into our midst. Thank you for being the light that guides Texas State. The future is bright at Texas State because of you. Thank you so much for all you do for Texas State. Now we're going back to student entertainment, and now I'm really excited about this because I heard her sing earlier today. You all are in for a treat.
While we transition to our student panel, please enjoy a performance by Daniela Velazquez from Mariachi Nueva Generación.
Noche que vibran bajo la luna, y luego que den las 12, cuando me oigan sigan mi voz y toquen igual que siempre, querido y con sentimiento, y llenen el pensamiento poquito a poco de inspiración, porque esta noche de enero con toda mi alma quiero cantar. Debajo de esa ventana que en otros tiempos me vio llorar. Guitarras de medianoche que siempre que me acompañan, la estrella que va hacia el norte brilla más fuerte que el mismo sol, y toquen igual que siempre, querido y con sentimiento, y en el pensamiento poquito a poco de inspiración, porque esta noche de enero con toda mi alma quiero cantar debajo de esa ventana que en otros tiempos me vio llorar. Guitarras de medianoche. Thank you, muchas gracias.
At this time, we are pleased to welcome today's student panelists for a live recording of The Current podcast with President Kelly Damphousse.
Great to see you all here today. Thank you for being here. This is actually a special recording of our podcast that we call The Current, where I talk to faculty, staff, students, alumni, friends of the university about things that are happening at Texas State. And we thought it'd be very useful for our faculty and staff to hear something from our students. Before we start, and Sully, I'll start with you. Why don't you introduce yourself to the audience?
Hey everyone, I'm Sully Allen. I'm a junior here at Texas State, and I'm an English and Education major.
Hello everyone, my name's Aaliyah White. I'm an industrial engineer major here at Texas State, and I'm a senior.
Good afternoon. My name's Chuck Harris, and I'm a master's graduate student in the School of Music, getting a degree in composition.
I don't know if you knew, I was talking about you when I said the students were getting older, by the way. So
We
Chuck,
are.
Chuck is actually one of our staff members as well. So if you don't know, he runs Evans Auditorium. So thank you so much for all of you for being here. And so let's start with a question for all of you. What are something that you're especially grateful for about Texas State? And Sully, we'll start with you again.
I'm really thankful for all my professors here at Texas State. They've all helped me immensely on my journey here. Dr. Wilson, or Professor Wilson, sorry, Dr. Mankey and Dr. I'm blanking on his name, but those two specifically, I'll say. Those two have been the professors of my favorite classes who have really shaped what I've learned to love here.
What made them your favorites? Was it because they were easy A's?
No, because they were challenging. Professor Wilson, in fact, our class was so good, he said, that he made our midterm harder. And at first I was like, oh my goodness, I don't want that at all. But now, looking back on it, I really enjoyed the experience of figuring out how to do that midterm.
Great, thank you. Aaliyah.
Yeah, so not to echo Sully, but I think I'm just very grateful for the community that I've been able to develop here at Texas State, whether it been my professors or advisors like Dr. Jimenez, or my peers like Natalie and Christina, or even the friendships that I've made within my ministry. I can say I truly wouldn't have made it this far if it wasn't for them.
That's great, thank you for sharing that. Chuck, what about you?
I'm thankful that the university is an employer of choice. That's a great thing, and it's thankful for the things the university provides for the staff. And I came here a couple of years ago, and the College of Fine Arts and Communication has just been such a wonderful place to work. Dean Fleming is a wonderful boss, and just really neat to see all of the things that our fine arts departments do.
Yeah, and you're an example of what many of our employees are doing now, taking advantage of the tuition discount by
Absolutely.
continuing your education.
You should take advantage of that. It is a really good deal.
That and the Wildcats program. So
you can get an entire graduate degree for what one semester would cost. So,
all right, there's your plug. All right, we're done here. So Chuck, we'll come back to you now. One of the things I love about The Current is we want to talk about an issue, but I always love starting off with finding out what someone's Texas State story is. Why don't you share a little bit about your story and what it's like being a student here at Texas State?
Sure. Again, I used to work at the big university up the hill, up 35, and a job opened up down here that kind of fit my what I could do, and so I applied for it. So I've been here since the summer of 2023, and then found out about the tuition replacement, and it's just been such a really great journey. I have really great professors. Don't sleep on the School of Music here. It is fantastic.
Yeah, we're seeing evidence of that already today, for sure. It
really is such a great place. It's the faculty there and the staff there are just really adamant about students getting a great education. And so, but that's kind of my story. I wanted to study composition, and so I got in touch with the right people, and here I am. I'm going to graduate in August. So
graduate in August, very good. Good jump in the river?
Absolutely.
Good jump in the river. Aaliyah, we talk a lot about finances and academics, about the important role that they play with retention and graduation. But we also talk about belonging, about how important it is for our students to feel like they're connected. Can you think of a time when you felt like, this is it, this is my place, these are my people, I belong here?
Yeah, so for me, I went to a pretty good high school and had some great relationships with my teachers there. And something I remember is just developing a relationship outside of just being my teacher, in the sense of like we'd hang back, they'd give us encouraging advice. So coming to Texas State, I didn't really know what that was gonna look like. Coming in, I heard some people, they really connected with their professors, some people didn't. But I remember Professor Shaw. She really made an impact on me when I was taking Writing for Sustainable Change. And I remember, I think it was like maybe that first week of like just starting up school, and a peer of mine hung back and she was recommending us like a donut place to check out. And even just something so small as that was so impactful for me, because she ended up even helping me think of creative ways that I could incorporate sustainability into using my major. So I'm really grateful for that moment, because I was like, man, Texas State is the place for me.
That's awesome. You know, there's a lesson there about how it's not just about classes and professors teaching and so on. There's relationships that get formed, and the impact you can have, maybe even without realizing how deep that impact is. Like I just told people where to get a donut, but you go home that night and you think, man, that professor showed me where to get a donut, and even small things like that can have a positive impact.
For sure.
And now the responsibility is on us to have positive impacts on others around us, incoming students and peers and so on. All right, Sully, I'm going to put on my Barbara Walters hat. Now, you're too young to know who Barbara Walters is, but they're not. And so, but if Texas State is a constellation, what's the star that guides you right now? What inspires your goals and keeps you moving forward? It's a tough one, I know.
It is a little bit of a tough one, I have to say. If I had to say anything, I think it would be what I want to do with my life. Like, before I die, I would like to make the world a better place. And the way I am going to do that is I'm going to be a teacher. What I want to do with my students, I want to instill like kindness and empathy and like a love for learning in them. If I can do that, then I'm going to say my life would be pretty successful. So that's just what I'm striving for every day.
Yeah. That's better than Barbara Walters would have done. That's pretty good. So that's really inspiring. Thank you for sharing that. This is a question I'm going to ask each of you, and Sully, we'll start with you and Aaliyah, then we'll come back to Chuck at the end. Faculty and staff across campus are here today because they care deeply about students. I hope that students know that I mean, these are folks that could be working anywhere, making all kinds of money, working at other places, but they're here because they're passionate about the student experience. And I hope you're seeing that as well. But they're also curious about you all, because you all are hard to understand all the time. And so maybe, is there something you'd like to share about the student perspectives for our faculty and staff alike, about what you want them to know about either you or the experience of your peers here at Texas State?
If I want you guys to know anything about any student ever, it's that you are someone's favorite professor or worker or whatever, what have you. You're someone's favorite, man. And I just want to say thank you all so much for everything you do for Texas State. You guys truly make this place what it is.
That's awesome, yeah. I wish I could take credit for all these answers, but I'm just asking the questions. Aaliyah, what about you?
Yeah, so I would say your enthusiasm goes a long way. I know for me, I was taking electricity and magnetism like a couple years ago, and it was one of my last classes after like 3 other classes before that. And it was rough to show up, but I appreciate Dr. Benzotti just like coming with so much enthusiasm. It made it a lot of fun, and even now, taking senior design, Dr. Trevino has been really impactful for me, whether we're taking a 5 p.m. class or 8 a.m. class. It really does help if you're super enthusiastic, because then it makes us enjoy it too. Thank y'all.
You know, you touched on something that's kind of interesting. Both of you have done this, that sometimes it's the hard classes that you remember the most, right? And I'm looking back over my time. It's been a long time since I've been in college, but I do remember some of the really challenging ones were the ones that kind of stuck out. And I didn't appreciate it at the time, you know. It wasn't until later I said, I kind of learned a lot in there. I know I earned that C, you know. So, don't tell anyone I said that. So, Chuck, what about you? Advice for our faculty and staff?
I run across a lot of faculty and staff in my job as well. And everyone it's a family. Texas State is a family. It's not a big machine that runs, it runs efficiently, but it's not like a machine. It's not the mine shaft, you know. It's like people here care about the students. I see it. And You know, the School of Music, Dr. Sullivan and Dr. Martin are both Dr. Sullivan's leadership is great in the School of
He's got a
Music.
great beard, too.
He has a great beard, yeah. Fantastic beard. I'm jealous, but.
Me too.
And then I just want to talk about a couple of professors that really impacted me. One is Dr. Kevin Mooney, and he told me that I was built for academia, because I was going to just get this master's degree and go on, and so I'm going to pursue hopefully another degree, and then Dr. Jack Wilds told me. I told him I was not good at theory. It's been 30 years since I've been in a theory class. And he says, you don't go to college for what you know. You go to college for what you can learn. And then Dr. Michael Ippolito and Professor Rick Hall and Professor Hank Hemsoth, our composition faculty. Most schools have one composition professor. We have 4. And it is a very important thing for people to write music and create. And so I'm just really thankful for those.
No, you bring such a great point as well about the impact of a positive note or a message. And the people in the audience can probably think of a time where someone said the same thing to them, like, you can do this, you belong here. And that goes so much further than a chastisement. And encouragement goes a long way. So thank you for sharing that. Thank you for being so vulnerable and sharing your stories with our faculty and staff here. You know, at the end of the podcast, I know you guys listen to it every month whenever I do this. But at the end of the podcast, we always ask listeners to submit questions for me. And so Chuck, since you're closest, I've not seen the question, promise, I don't know what's in there. But Karnak, you don't know who Karnak is either, so I am aging myself today. So this is a question you get to ask me, and then if it's relevant, I'll see if you guys have an answer for it as well.
What is your mantra for this year?
Wow. So it's interesting. So I read a few years ago a book called The One Word That Can Change Your Life. And it's a very small little book. And the idea is that you should pick a word every year that kind of like drives your year. And you should, put it on a Post-it note and put it in different places, and that should be your word. And I was searching for the word for 2026. And I'm reading this book right now by Doris Kearns Goodwin, who wrote a book called, I think it's The Band of Rivals. It's the cabinet that Lincoln put together by people who weren't really his supporters at the beginning. And there's a story in there about, in chapter 2, it's called, I think it's called the Intent to Rise. And Alex de Tocqueville, who's a Frenchman who comes to America, and he's talking about Americans from a European perspective before people knew, what America would become. And he said, Americans are just different from the rest of the world because they're unfettered by class restrictions. They can rise above the class they're in. And if you go anywhere, they're always like loud and they're trying to, move up and so on. He says they're all about rising above themselves. And there's another part of that story a little later in the chapter. That's like the opening chapter. But there's another little vignette about one of the rivals who, again, this is back in the days when people died at early ages. And this gentleman had, I think, 3 wives, all of whom died of tuberculosis or some kind of disease, and a couple children who died very young. And he says something like, man, this life is just tough. Like this guy was living the life of Job. And he said, but I could wither and I could stay small, but I'm going to rise up and rise to meet the next day. And so the word rise just kept coming back to me as I was searching. So the word rise for me, and it's not about, the rising star of Texas. It's about thinking about, again, as a president, I think about how I can impact the university rising to meet challenges that we're facing. We're facing a lot of challenges, but also from a personal perspective. We had a lot of personal issues in our family this past year that were very challenging for us. And it's really easy to kind of sink into yourself and like get depressed or whatever. But I just said, I'm just going to rise above that. I'm going to rise to meet the next challenge. I hope the same thing. So I'm going to go to Sully first. Sully, do you have a mantra?
I do. It came from my dad.
Yeah.
It is, no's are cheap. Anything I do in life, it's like, well, if I ask, then maybe yes. So thank you, Pops.
Yeah. No's are cheap. That's good. Aaliyah?
Yeah, so mine's is from a song called Love Yours, and I really like it that it says, no such thing as a life that's better than yours. And I just think it's so like weird being in like your early 20s because there's so many people at the same age as you doing so many different things. And I think just like being on social media, it's easy to like compare myself and be like, I need to be doing more. But I don't know, I really like that song because it shows me like, be present, you're doing all the right things, you know, you're getting your degree, and there's a whole world of opportunities out there beyond college.
It's awesome.
I'm going to say my neurodivergency is a feature, not a bug.
That's right. That's it for all of us. I think a lot of people will take that mantra on as well. Hey, let's give our students a round of applause. Thank you. Thank you all for being here. Well, as I mentioned, we had the string trio, then we had VocaLibre, then we had the Mariachi performance, then we had the student panel. So a lot of good student stuff at the beginning and in the middle, and now towards the end. We're going to have a performance by our musical theater program, which is going to be unbelievable. And I only say that out of promise because I've not seen it. I purposely left the room when they were rehearsing this morning because I want to be surprised by it. But after they're done, we're going to be dismissed. There won't be an ending. Maybe there'll be someone telling you it's time to leave. It may say something like, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. But one place you can go is right next door, because I think we've got reception set up over there. One of the things that I'm really excited about is, I know you've got a gift at your chair, but we also have a gift for you over there. And it's a poster that shows what the night sky looked like on Founders Day in 1899 above Chautauqua Hill, when this first became a university. It's an homage to our idea of the constellation and the stars, but it's a beautiful poster that we hope that you'll take and frame it somewhere and put it somewhere. We hope that it'll inspire you to remind you about the fact that you all are stars in the constellation. So you all are getting very nervous right now that I'm actually going to sing and dance as well. Making me nervous too, so I'm getting out of here. So thank you so much.
Gonna shout it from the mountain tops. A star is born. It's how we're pulling out all the stops. A star is born. Here's with the hallelujah. Keep it shining light. A star is born. A star is born. A hero who can please the crowd. A star is born. Come on, everybody, shout out loud. A star is born. Remember in the dark.
Who can please the crowd? A star is born. When everybody shout out loud. A star is born. Just remember in the darkest hour, when your heart's a pound, making you a hero too. A hero too. So don't lose hope when you're forlorn. Just keep your eyes upon the skies. Every night a star is bright inside a star is burning bright. A star is born.
Thank you all for joining us today. Please join us at the social hour across the hall in the LBJ Ballroom for free giveaways, drinks, and entertainment provided by the band Bobcat Country.